Okay, I'm not gonna do a long, drawn-out beginning to this one. We're just gonna get the ball rolling right away. Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Hopefully, everyone's doing good. Oh God! Of course, I'm getting a phone call. Why? Not right now. Have to ignore it. How is everyone? Everyone doing alright? Dude, I honestly, I feel like my head is gonna pop. Like, I feel like my head's gonna fucking explode, because you ever have one of those days where you're just being yanked in 50 different directions, and what you want to get done is just, like, you're not allowed to get it done? Like, you're just not allowed to get things done, because other people just, like, keep demanding shit of you. It's incredibly annoying. Just adjust my microphone a little bit. There we go, now I shouldn't be ass-raping it. Why is it so sensitive? Very strange. Should be better now. So, I have no time for a workshop stream this month. I simply don't. I'm sorry. Just nature of me being out of town and not being able to work on things I need to get done. I desperately need to get a video out before this weekend, so today I need to get the last of the footage I need in order to finish that video, and I just not had time to do a workshop stream. I have other real world responsibilities, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't have the time. I do apologize. So just bear with me on that, and I swear next month will be less chaotic simply because I'm not going to be out of town for half the month, and I'll be able to focus more on YouTube and streaming and what have you, so. But it's summertime. I'm not 19 or I'm not 15. I'm not in school. I have a real world and a real job and other responsibilities. It's not like I can just drop everything I'm doing and do a stream on a whim, right? I have to piecewise plan my life. Thing is, I can't delay this video because of what's coming in the next week. Because of what other YouTubers are going to say and what other YouTubers are going to do. This video should have already been done. And it's my video talking about fixed TF2. And that's what we're going to be talking about today, is fixed TF2, because it's time to go mask off with this bullshit, because it's frankly a mess. It's been a mess since it started, and it's going to continue to be a mess, and nothing is going to get done. That is a fact. And I have a video summarizing my thoughts about it, but the only thing I lack about finishing it is footage. Gabber fired me up. No, these are thoughts that I've had for weeks now, months now. But I need to get this video out. We need to get this video done. Richter, are you there?
Hey, buddy, how's it going?
Hey.
Hey, I need everybody in the chat needs to be really nice to Zesty today. He's under quite a lot of stress in his personal life and in general, so it's time for you guys to be nice to him on this stream.
I like your.
I don't need anybody poking and prodding. I don't need anybody poking and prodding Zesty. Nobody be mean to him. He needs to get his footage. He needs to get he needs it. Okay. I tried to offer him footage so that he wouldn't be so stressed. He was like, "Oh, yeah, quality problem. It'll be different."
You can't take footage.
I guess that's fair.
You can't take footage from other people.
I offered to help you, Zesty. I've always been such a good friend to you. How long have we known each other, Zesty? It's got to have been at least 2 or 3 years now.
It's a couple of years. I think it's almost 3 years, I think. 2 or 3 years.
It was the CP Orange video. It was, I think, the first time we talked to each other.
Yeah, it's been quite a while already, which is kind of crazy,
that was
isn't it?
very early for me.
Pretty crazy. Parasocial friendship? Nah, we're buds. Chill.
No, listen, me and Zesty, he's parasocially attached to me. Zesty's been attached to me for ages.
Yeah,
Listen, what the fuck are we here to talk about? We're here to talk about fixed TF2. You give me not a lot of time to prepare for this stream, so I don't have notes or links and shit to share.
Frankly, do we need notes? We really don't.
Probably not.
I mean, we really just need to.
You're saying mask off, bro. I guess it's mask off.
Well, I mean, by being mask off, I think it's totally fair to be just blunt about what's been happening. We don't need to be. I think we're allowed to be very frank with everyone as to, it's been mostly silly, in my opinion.
It's been a bit silly.
Yeah,
I won't lie.
No, so like I think my main issue with and I outlined this in my video a bit, but I think my main problem with the entirety of Fix TF2 is that the entire thing was spearheaded by a handful of YouTubers.
Oh, I have a real problem with the leadership of Fix TF2. And I think you and I have always been on the same page with that, really.
I mean, yes, and the problem is that you have this movement that has been...
Before you give any of this out, let me give like the cuck disclaimer and stuff. Like it's the people who are organizing this aren't like evil. You shouldn't go try to diddle them in their sleep or whatever. Like I'm sure they have good intentions, and I've had like friendly interactions with most of the people who were involved. I wouldn't consider them friends by any stretch of the imagination, but they're mostly cordial people. It's not like they're evil and they're secretly plotting to take over and destroy the game.
No, I agree.
I've always had so many problems with the way that it's all been organized. I've never liked how cliquey they are, and I've never really... I don't know, there's just a lot of things. I'll let this is your stream.
No, I know. I completely agree. And again, like we need to reinforce that we're not attacking them. We're attacking how this was handled. And if we're not allowed to be critical of any of these things, how are we going to get anywhere? How are things going to improve? Right? It's like we need to point out the flaws in this.
The first thing that people are going to say, and I'm sure you know this, is they're going to be like, oh, well, you're just mad, like, you weren't involved, right? That's going to be the first thing.
Well, there's the thing.
I want to say, like,
Richter.
To some extent, right, that's true. Like, the
thing is, that is true. And it's not just me. It's not just me, though.
Your ego that you're not involved. But what I want to, like, ask the chat, right? If me with, like, what do I have, 280,000 subscribers or whatever, and Zesty, who I would say is probably the most popular TF2 streamer right now. Like, I don't think there's anybody else who goes live to as many people as you do as consistently. You have a really active live audience, right?
Seems that way.
If me and you were both intentionally left out of this, who else has been left out of this? Who else is intentionally?
So Monkey is another.
Furthermore, right? Who actually, if you and me weren't, consulted for how this movement is gonna be ran and who's gonna be the figureheads, right? If none of that even crossed our tables, with us having platforms, it made me realize who actually was consulted, and the answer is nobody. These people self-appointed, like these people put themselves in a position.
No, and they're
cliquey and they're friends in real life.
Yeah,
right?
and Richter, before you continue, that's my main gripe with all of this, is that this entire thing was planned and coordinated by a friend circle of YouTubers who have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Name them. You said mask off.
Well, I mean, no. It was Shork, it was Wheezy, it was The What Show, and a handful of others that got together inside of a Discord with a bunch of their friends, and they planned and coordinated this thing. And I was told to my face that they had been speaking about this since 6 months ago. Were they speaking about it? Yeah. Sure. Were they actively planning and working on this for 6 months? It certainly doesn't seem like it. All of this appears to have amounted to about 2 weeks worth of planning. Sure, the amount of work they put into this might have taken longer than a few weeks, but what do we have? We have a website, we have a petition, and we have a handful of YouTube videos. And no, did they say that on stream? No, they just told me to my face. The What Show told me to my face in messages that they had been working on, that they had spoken about this for like 6 months. And does it look like 6 months of work? No, absolutely not. And here, God, see, and now I'm like, my brain's all scattered because you said like 50 things that I want to go back and address. So the problem is that, in general, my issue with this is that if people really care about this game, if people really want some kind of change from Valve, they need to stop giving them their fucking money. Money is the only thing that Valve listens to. And from day one, anything that resembled a financial boycott was just off the fucking table. And the only reason why it was off the table is because Wheezy didn't believe in it. And because he was the person spearheading this, he didn't believe in it, therefore it was just not mentioned, hardly at all. It was laced into a couple of their videos, but it's been hardly mentioned up until this point. And he wasn't convinced that it could be an effective idea or that it's just...
You had to badger him into that. We had to fucking nail that into his head over UFR. So that's like documented, right?
And like, not even that. That should just be the natural reaction to the company fucking over the product you enjoy. Like, that should just be the sensible thing to do. It's just stop giving Valve your goddamn money. And you and I have been saying this for weeks.
I was saying it before you, Zesty.
I know,
we fucking made you come around to it.
No, you didn't make me come around to anything. I just simply agreed with you. No, I agreed with you on all of this, dude.
Okay, fair enough. Whatever. It's not worth arguing about.
Calm down. He told us to be nice. What? How? I'm not attacking them. I'm just pissed that like the idea of a financial boycott was just foolishly dismissed as ineffective.
Well, I thought they said they had it in mind all along, is what they said.
Oh yeah. The thing is, now they're coming around to it, and now of course they're supporting it because I think they're finally realizing that oh shit, Valve doesn't give a fuck about anything we're doing unless we deprive them of the only thing they care about, which is the money. Fuck.
In a rich man's world.
It's just so fucking infuriating, and the problem with that, right, is the reason why Wheezy wasn't on board is because he said, oh, because TF2 earns pennies compared to Valve's other revenue streams, they'll just simply continue to ignore it. Two facets to that. One, it doesn't matter. That should still be the sensible thing to do, is just stop giving Valve your fucking money through TF2, and don't, like, say, oh yeah, fuck it, just keep spending on the money on the game, but keep wagging your finger at them. That is the most twisted, hypocritical thing you can do with a movement like this. It's like, oh, hey, yeah, fuck Valve and fuck their game, but it's okay if you keep buying Tour of Duty tickets, it's okay if you keep buying keys and buying hats.
One thing I don't really understand is, and I've never been an MVM, so, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't Wheezy still do his content if he just played, like, Man Up or whatever, Boot Camp, whatever the free one is?
Absolutely, he could. But the problem is that it's a different set of players between MVM and Boot Camp, where you're playing with, like, brain-dead children in Boot Camp.
I think there's just, and maybe this is like cope or whatever, you can say this is like an invented thing in my head, but I feel like there's like in my opinion, a notable conflict of interest with probably all of them except the What Show. I have some respect for the What Show. He really did step up and put his kind of head on the platter for the bot hosters to attack or whatever. I probably wouldn't have done that, so I got to give him some props for that. But with Wheezy, I mean, his entire channel is built around the pay-to-play mode in TF2. He's had this like totally inconsistent stance on boycotts. I mean, like, he'll tell you and me now that he was always pro-boycott on a personal level, but, like, he has, like, this weird stipulation and rule set where it's like, it's good on a personal level, but don't say it publicly because it's not actually that good of an idea, and it's like, well, the petition isn't really that good of an idea. It is just the correct
thing to do. Am I wrong? Guys?
No.
Am I wrong that it's just, like, the sensible and correct thing to do, that if you're fed up with the product and how it's being handled, you don't support the product?
I didn't blindside Wheezy, by the way. I told him that I'd come on here this morning. I messaged him and I told him, and he said that's fine. So I'm not sure.
Oh, you got his permission.
Well, because him and I are a little bit, we got a shared respect, you know. Like, I'm not close to either of the other two people who organized this, and I'm not really that close to Wheezy either, but I've talked to him and been friendly enough with him in DMs and, like, shot the shit with him where it would have kind of felt bad if I came on here and blindsided him with trying to tear down his shit. But I don't believe him when he says he's got a plan A, B, C, and I don't think that's what he said. He said something to me in DMs that just, like, didn't make sense to me.
They have no plan at all. I need to reinforce this with everybody. So obviously I was excluded. I was excluded from their bigger Discord, so they had to place me inside of a containment chamber with just Wheezy, just Short, just the What Show, and a couple of other guys, because I was not allowed to go into this bigger Discord because they feared the drama that would ensue if I graced them with my fucking presence. Fucking insane.
You should have known that you were gonna get the drama no matter what. No matter what you do with Zesty Jesus, you're gonna get the drama.
But the thing is, it shouldn't have fucking mattered, because all it amounts to is a tiny vocal minority of screeching brain-dead troglodytes that are terminally online that will complain about everything and anything, and they would have been drowned out infinitely so by everything surrounding Fixed TF2. If they genuinely cared, they would have brought in everyone, consulted all ideas.
What I really don't like about it also is if you dissent from it, if you say, hey, I have a problem with this, I don't like how you did this, you're a doomer, which that they paint you with the broad stroke of like you're a doomer, and then they say anybody who's a doomer, they're the problem in the community, and so it basically they exclude people from their movement, and then they tell them, well, join or die, basically. If you don't join our movement that we intentionally excluded you from, well, then you hate TF2 and you want it to die.
And like,
it's like evil.
And like,
it's kind of an evil framing.
And it's fucked up because it's like a spit in the face to me, right? Where, and listen, I need to be perfectly clear that I wouldn't have changed shit, and I'll get to this in a moment, because a fucking social media movement does nothing in the face for Valve, because they don't give a fuck about anything said on social media. They don't care about optics unless it hurts their bottom line. The focus should have been the money from day one. But I need to say
that's really ridiculous, right? Like, we can't do a financial boycott. We had to get edged into doing that because it's like not reasonable that that's gonna do anything. But a petition, yeah, that's like awesome. That's like a great thing to build.
It's like, why? I don't understand why they thought a petition was going to do anything. Like, listen. I need to say
it's great as like one facet of something.
No, of course,
the essential piece of the plan.
No, of course, and I need to reinforce that like all of this is a lot more meaningful to us than it is to Valve, and it's a good thing that we're doing it because it makes us feel good. We're venting our frustrations. We feel like we're taking action. It makes us feel better, right? But just like every other fucking internet petition, it's gonna get goddamn ignored. It's not gonna make a fucking difference. And we have, and them printing it out, and then you have just a fucking handful of YouTubers with a camcorder showing up at Valve's doorstep. How is that gonna be any different than the other two guys who already showed up at Valve and were given the cold shoulder? Well, sorry, the guy who dressed up as Spy got a handshake and a photo, but then the guy who dressed up as Scout was just fucking ignored. How are 3 YouTubers, a camera, and a stack of printer paper going to make a fucking difference? It's not. It's not gonna do anything. And it blows my mind that they thought, like, and that's it.
And I don't mean to be evil to these people, but it's like they're YouTubers who make videos about like unboxing toys and like gambling in TF2, and they have no history with doing any kind of like online activism. They haven't even played the game for a particularly long time.
Victor.
And they're also just, and I'm just gonna be blunt, they're not even that like popular. They're not really that big of names in the community, and that's another question is, where are the big people that we say are the Mount Rushmore of TF2 or whatever?
They're living their life.
Silent. Yeah.
They're out there living their life. They don't care that much about TF2 anymore. Soundsmith is working his channel as a business. Lazy Purple's off getting another dose of antipsychotics or whatever he needs to remain stable. Uncle Dane is editing. Uncle Dane is editing for iDubbbz. I mean, that's all self-proclaimed from Lazy Purple. The dude has like mental issues. He's trying to get his life in order. Good props to him. Hope he gets his shit together. But that's why he's not here.
Soundsmith and Uncle Dane gone to go work for iDubbbz. Lazy Purple, he's in therapy or whatever. He's completely MIA. Who's left as the people's champion except Zesty Jesus? It's a real question for you to think about, chat, because it's not the What Show.
I'm not any better or like listen. And Richter, this goes back to my point that YouTubers will do nothing. And the main problem with this.
I forgot about 2-4 Twerkers. He owns you. He owns you.
I don't know what the fuck that is. So like, here's the thing, right? YouTubers will do nothing. It can all be ignored. Social media, all the noise. Valve will just ignore it as they always have. It makes no difference to them. Valve has weathered infinitely worse PR storms in the past, and a bunch of people screaming at them on Twitter is something that they can just not look at and continue on as normal. The main problem with this is that this has been a forced, inorganic movement spearheaded by a bunch of YouTubers and not just the natural, organic response to what happens when a company is fucking over your product.
Is there anybody who would, like, if they were given a pick, right, of like a big group of people to speak for them in the TF2 community, how many of you guys' first pick would be like the What Show and like Shork? Like, how many of you?
You're asking a biased audience right now. You're asking a biased audience very clearly.
I know, but like, you know what I'm getting at, right, Zesty?
I know what you're getting at, but like,
who would you expect or
but,
want?
Like, listen, the point is that it wouldn't matter who is the leader. There shouldn't have been a fucking leader. We don't need leaders and YouTubers and social media influencers telling us what to do. It should just be the natural reaction and response to this.
I disagree with you a little bit. I think there's like value in having like a figurehead who people sort of follow, but it's got to be somebody who's like earned the respect of the community. It's got to be like a Germa or something.
What respect does any YouTuber in the TF2 sphere have? None.
People give a lot of respect to people like Lazy Purple and that sort of thing. Like that's not like made up, Zesty.
I guess, but we know that they're not involved, right? So who do we have left?
Yeah, and that's the point I'm making though, is that these are not super compelling figures to lead your movement. And they don't even the worst part about this, right, is hold on, let me like fucking think for a second. I'm like a little brainlet. If this movement like miraculously works, it's like all glory to them. But if it fails, I mean, they kind of win no matter what, right? They're sort of...
Well, not anymore. And here's the thing is, not anymore. First time around, sure, because they got Valve to squirt out a tweet, so that there was something that they were able to celebrate. If Valve does nothing, They have nothing to celebrate. Reddit is already tearing into these guys because nothing is happening.
Yeah, Wheezy declaring war on Reddit, bro. Good luck, man. You
good
Reddit.
luck.
I fucking tried.
Yeah,
you can't win
good luck.
Reddit, they'll fucking destroy you.
Yeah, so like there's nothing to celebrate this time. There's nothing to parade around. There's no like finality to it where they can kind of like say, "Yay, we did it."
And this is like a hint that I got the first time around or not the first time around, but when they first announced they were doing another movement, I was thinking like this is the consolation prize. Like they know they fucked up the last one really hard, and this is just kind of to ease their conscience. Like this is them trying to make up for fucking it up last time. It's just to make themselves feel better about it. And that's kind of how I feel about it still, to be honest.
And so, and another facet to this, and another reason why it's so inorganic and forced, is that pretty much all of this is just Wheezy copying what World of Warcraft fans did when they went through their pains. Because Wheezy is a World of Warcraft fan. He saw what they did and just applied the exact same series of steps over to TF2. Except the main difference is that everything that happened with World of Warcraft was done reactively, done organically, and he intentionally left out the single biggest facet of the World of Warcraft noise, the financial fucking boycott. Because what were people doing? They were unsubscribing from World of Warcraft. And that was public information. Because initially, Ricker, let me finish. This is very important, and this was completely ignored by Wheezy and all of these guys. The only reason why the World of Warcraft thing worked is because people were unsubscribing from fucking Blizzard. And at first, it was public. Blizzard was publishing the amount of subscribers they had, and that was taking a very public nosedive. In response to this, in efforts for damage control, Blizzard started unpublishing the subscriber numbers. Good God, the lack of foresight there. And what did that do? That pissed off more people and fueled more people unsubscribing. And then guess what happens next? People started crying out on social media. Then you had Blizzard stepping in and shutting down the fan-made legacy servers. Then you had another natural reaction of, oh, let's get this petition and send it their way. And the only reason why that worked is because the person who did it was a former fucking employee of Blizzard and had internal connections, which is completely incomparable to 3 YouTubers showing up at Valve's offices.
I don't know. Shork has connections to Valve.
No, the voice actors disavowed this. Those are his only connections. And they disavowed all of this. They're not, they have no part.
He's had a Valve tour. He's been on a Valve tour. I'm sure he knows some people up there.
Aside from the voice actors, who knows? But they're not going to just let them walk in with open arms. They're going to completely ignore this. And so, and here's the thing, right? The only thing that ultimately forced Blizzard's hand was the sheer volume of people unsubscribing from World of Warcraft. And they finally went, oh, fuck, our bottom line is getting hurt. Let's give them what they want. For some reason, that single most important aspect was completely ignored by Wheezy. It's the financial aspect has just been an afterthought this entire time, and they only focused on tweets and a fucking petition.
You've seen their inside operations more than me, Zesty. I don't know what they did or didn't plan 6 months ago, but they're saying they always plan to do a boycott and just wait and time it for the summer update or something.
No, that's not true at all. That they only came up with that idea.
Just like a lie. You're saying that's straight up a lie.
From what I've seen, the idea of boycotting the summer update only came within recent weeks. They certainly were not planning
recent
this.
Weeks? Because the whole movement has only been around for like what, 3 weeks?
Thing is, my point is they were not planning that long term. It seems like most of what they've been doing has been done reactively to what's been happening on social media.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying is they won't. The whole movement.
And here's the thing: it doesn't matter. Right? It doesn't matter that. Here's the thing: it doesn't even matter if they had planned that for 6 months. That should have been placed at the fucking forefront of all of their videos, all of their discourse. The financial aspect should be the number one thing that they pushed, but they didn't. Why? Incompetence? Foolishness? I don't know. But they just didn't put that in. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. How can you boycott Valve? Don't give them money. Here's the thing, right? And this is the other side to this. Yes, TF2 earns Valve absolute pennies compared to their other revenue streams. I understand this. All of you understand this. So just TF2 alone isn't gonna get Valve to budge. It's still the correct thing to do, to not give them your money through the game, but ultimately Valve gets maybe $15 million a year from TF2 compared to billions from Steam and billions from Counter-Strike. The thing that works in all of our favors is that the neglect is not just a TF2 problem, it's a Valve problem. It's starting to manifest in Counter-Strike. Left 4 Dead went through its pains with servers getting DDoSed, right? Counter-Strike is getting the shaft now because they have. Okay, so I explained this in my video. Counter-Strike is
up, man.
Yeah, I'm pissed because no one is saying this except for fucking me, and it makes me so goddamn mad.
I'm here, Zesty. What do you mean?
I'm here with you. I'm animated. My heart's big. I like to eat.
Relax, man. Relax, man.
I like to eat.
Making TF2 videos. It's not that big of a deal.
Anyway, so fucking Counter-Strike is going through the 2017 era of Team Fortress 2 right now. They just went through a very big transition into a new system. TF2 had Meet Your Match, Counter-Strike got moved over to CS2, and Valve dropped the ball on both because Counter-Strike had a lot of legacy content not carried over, the game was buggy, it's riddled with cheaters, and of course all of the bots idling for cases, and instead of addressing any of these problems in a long-term meaningful way, Valve has decided to simply monetize the game even further. You can now rent skins, you have a weekly subscription service to rent skins. They're putting fucking keychains in the game, what the fuck are they, what? This is Call of Duty now, next thing we're gonna get is Nicki Minaj and some Catgirl guns. That's where CSGO is going. And it seems like they're now setting it up so they can have periodic community-made content dumps instead of a brand new operation. They just dropped 5 maps yesterday with nothing else, no operation, no coherent update. Fuck it, here's just some content the community made for us. Go have fun. By the way, have fun getting domed by cheaters in every other game. Counter-Strike is experiencing the same shit that TF2 went through. But they're still perfectly complacent because they can still gamble, right? That's like the main reason why people play Counter-Strike is because they can gamble.
That sounds like Wheezy.
And here's the thing, right? And here's the thing. In the midst of all of this, Valve has the fucking audacity to make another game, to make Deadlock, right? They're gonna try to push this game out, and it's guaranteed to be bloated with microtransactions. It's guaranteed to be live service. And it's guaranteed to be filled with cheaters. Already.
There's already anti-cheat clients.
I've already showed this on stream. There's already fucking cheat clients for Deadlock. And the game has not been released yet. There are already cheats for Deadlock. And Valve thinks they're just gonna be able to put out another game without maintaining their current ones? And they're gonna convince people to play this already dead on arrival concept, barren game. And fuck it, there's already cheats for it.
They're gonna play it in Korea.
Like,
don't underestimate
Valve. What is their plan? What are they thinking?
Deadlock is gonna be popular in Korea and China, and it's not gonna be a game you or me play, but the game's gonna make money, I guarantee it.
And here's my point. This right here, the mistreatment of TF2, Valve dropping the ball with Counter-Strike and beginning to neglect that game, and in the midst of all of this, putting out another live service multiplayer game that already has cheaters. That right there should have been at the forefront of any kind of discourse, any kind of movement or hashtag. This should have been the focus. There is already so much instability in Valve's other markets, and if we strike at that weak point, that little organ, and pray to God, sow enough discontent in all of their markets, start depriving them of some money, maybe, just maybe, they might actually do something. But no, a financial boycott won't work.
Only a petition.
Only some just...
We're gonna leave a box of names on Valve's doorstep with a box of cookies that says, please come fucking... What do we even want from them? We want less bots, get rid of the bots in our game. And they're just gonna do it. Like, that's just... What other choice are they gonna have?
I'm pissed.
I mean, really.
I'm just genuinely
pissed. I can
pissed.
tell you're pissed because you said the stream was to get gameplay footage. You haven't fucking loaded a game yet.
I got 2. So my appointment tomorrow canceled, so I have a window of time that opened up. Thank God.
Okay, cool. It's not as
So I don't have as much of a pressure on my neck to get this video done, but
Oh, no, that's something I do want to say though. Like, if me and Zesty were excluded, who was included in deciding these people as the figureheads?
Well, it was just them.
The
It was just them, right?
Well, exactly, and I want to like that means the TF2 community is just totally disenfranchised. You guys are not a part of the equation. It's actually what Shork, the What Show, and Wheezy decide is best for the game, is what's best. And those are all people who started playing in like I don't know, like 2014, 2011 at the earliest.
It doesn't matter when they started playing. The problem is
it fucking does. Zesty Jesus.
It matters.
It fucking does matter.
It doesn't matter for wanting the game to be playable.
Yes, that's true, but it is something to consider when you look at who these people are as leadership. What are their credentials? They haven't played the game for that long. They don't have any history with running anything, running petitions. I guess Shork has history with organizing fucking TF Connect or whatever. But still, my point stands. The conflict of interest and stuff. There's something there, and I don't like the leadership of the movement, to be honest. Oh, Wheezy's in chat. You see that?
I did.
What you got to say to him? I didn't see what he wrote.
You fucked up.
You fucked up.
I mean, plain and simple. You fucked up by not wanting to focus on the financial aspects from day one.
He wants to come on, bro. He's like, he's dogging you.
I mean, all three, like, the whole thing was a fuck up by not focusing on the financial aspects from day one. Simple as that. And it's a shame that now the financial boycott has now become like Plan C or Plan D. And it's just, like, I understand now that it's an idea within your circles to push out videos and tweets saying, yeah, don't give Valve your money. That should have been done right away. I just... Ugh.
Yeah, banana gambler guy. Listen, silence disenfranchised TF2 player base. Gambling banana TF2 YouTubers talking.
It's just all
kind of like
a
meme
man.
type of thing. If anybody got the joke, it was sort of a meme thing. Playing since 2011 is a long time. Lol. What is Richter?
The thing is, I don't want to have him on because what's going to happen is it's going to devolve into a shouting match between Richter and Wheezy, and I don't want that to happen.
No. What the fuck? Me and Wheezy are like cool. I was just like saying he's cool earlier.
Me
and Wheezy can be normal, bro. We're not fucking rabid animals. I think it'd be interesting. I think it'd be good content for you, and clearly the chat wants it.
I am going to regret this.
You got my promise.
I am going to regret this.
Hey, maybe we'll find great like common ground.
This is going to suck.
When this is great content.
Testing.
I was just saying when this is great content. Thank Richter Overtime is what I was about to say. Listen,
okay, boys, duke it out.
I warned you that. Wait, why is this? This is your stream, Zesty.
No, I would... Do you mind if I say something? First of all, I've been up for, I think, like 32 hours now. I've had like a 75-minute nap, so I am completely out of it. Yeah, this is, I'll be completely
You've been arguing with people on Reddit all day, I can see.
No, I haven't, actually. Have I made one post on Reddit? I don't think so.
No, well, you've been like tweeting at Reddit and shit.
Yeah, it's just, man, there's so much stuff.
You sound tired, bro. Are you sure you want to like be on the stream? You're gonna like divulge something people don't need to hear? I'm concerned about you. You know, we were lovers.
No, yeah, right. No, for real. Like, I'm down to talk. It's just, you know, I'm obviously fucking, like, I'm zooted out of my mind on Adderall right now. So,
you and these addies, bro, you're gonna fuck up your brain chemistry.
No, I think it's already fucked it up. The dosage is too high for sure.
Clearly with the fact that you like banana hat and TF2, it says a lot about your brain status.
Yeah, no, it's like
what have you heard of the stream so far, bro? What is there anything that's caught your ear that you want to?
I'll be honest. I just heard like the last part of it. Like I haven't been watching. I just joined, and I figured it'd be like worth it. I'm sorry. Like I know I'm like really out of it right now. I'm probably not in the best state, but I just figured like if you have any questions, I can help you.
You start us off. You started the
like
stream
what questions do we have? I don't have any. Like I mean,
why do you say that
here's the thing.
Plan A, Plan B, and Plan C?
So what is your plan beyond the petition? What's next?
Oh well, that would be the boycott.
And so why was that not pushed day one?
Sure. God, my brain is like mush, so I apologize.
It's cool, bro. You're also in front of 1,500 people, so it's recognized.
Yeah, I know.
I'll be a little nervous.
Well, the nerves aren't, you know, the nerves. It's not that because I'm gonna make a video talking about everything. The main reason And fuck, I'm so sorry. Like I'm actually
it's good,
sorry.
bro. We're not trying to like bully you. It's like we're
no. I know you're
here.
not. No, I've always said that you guys have been very cordial when it comes to this kind of stuff, and I do appreciate it.
So you hear that, guys? Zesty Jesus is cordial.
No, 100%. Yeah, I'm like me and Zesty. Like we go back and forth. We talk behind the scenes. Like we're I think we're pretty good in this kind of stuff. I appreciate your input for sure. And there are aspects of it that I definitely agree with. Now the big issue.
Richter, on the other hand, that guy's a fucking freak. He's always just flying off the chain, and abusing me in DMs.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing, man. It's like fucking, it's like listening to Linkin Park, like right as you wake up. Like, dude, it's a bit much, right? And in the mind state I'm currently in, it's like, bro, it's a bit much. Yeah, so like, let's, no schizo stuff. Yeah, sorry, I'm fucking cranked out of my mind on Adderall. Let's see. So the main reason, here's the truth. If we boycotted the movement, now let me rephrase real quick. I'm not sure this is a good idea.
Yeah, maybe I think you should go rest you should go sleep.
Here's what's gonna happen. I am going to make a video talking about basically everything. I think your argument of the trickle-down effect that this can have on other games is the best argument in favor of a boycott. And it was not by you, Zesty, because we had this conversation. You brought that up, and I admitted. You can go back to like the UFR stream. You will see me admit in real time that is a good point. That was not the main point ever being pushed by the pro-boycott crowd. It was let's deprive Valve of 25 minutes worth of their fucking revenue, and that'll somehow be enough to get them on board. The argument that you made of actually dipping their revenue down enough to where that would be in a danger zone to where it could affect their other economies, that is a good argument. Now, granted, there are big feasibility concerns there, and there are also on like a level of being able to communicate with other communities and get them involved, there are barriers there as well. But like on a pure, you need there are feasibility concerns, but I'd rather have feasibility concerns than practicality concerns and ideas that just straight up would not work.
Okay, and my thing is just like, it's still just the right thing that should have been pushed regardless of what the intended outcome was. If you don't like how the product's being handled, you don't support it. And no, I truly don't understand why the only thing that Valve would have listened to, regardless if it affects their other economies or not, was just omitted entirely.
Well, no, I'll tell you why. First of all, personal boycotts are completely fine. Like, that's something that I have always supported. I've always supported everyone's ability to vote with their wallets on whatever they see fit. That isn't the issue. The thing is that if it's not a one-to-one recreation, it's not like we can take what happened with the original boycott, snap our fingers, everything is the same, and things go back as normal. So like your argument of let's ignore the what would we call it? The downstream trickle-down effects on the entire Valve ecosystem of their economies. If we ignore that argument, I don't think it's a good idea, and I'll tell you why. Because if we deprive Valve of money in that moment, you're depriving them of like 30 minutes of revenue. Now, what do we lose for that? Well, number one,
nothing. We lose nothing. How much worse does it get? It can't get worse than this.
No, I'm talking on a movement level. Like, I completely agree with like the state of the game and matters relating to that. But just let me give you one example. Okay, let's say it's like, I don't know. I don't know how many minutes of revenue a boycott would do, and like the collective sphere of Valve's influence and the amount of money that they make. I don't know the exact number, but it's very, very low. Now, let's think of something like the voice actors. The voice actors are a tether to Valve. They are a resource we can work with. They are a relationship we have. Other developers, or I guess a developer, I'm not going to name names, but these are tethers that we have to Valve that we can work with to have like more prosperous relationships going forward. Now, if we do a boycott, they do not want anything to do with that. They will not be involved, and we lose that tether. Now, the question is that worth it? Well, if the answer is we're just going to lose them 25 minutes worth of revenue or whatever the fuck, then no, I don't think it is. I think your main argument of how this will affect other micro communities that exist within the entire ecosystem is a good argument. But I think that's the one that needs to be appealed to.
The voice actors are our friends. They showed their hand. The fact that they are willingly excluding themselves from this because it hurts their own professional relationships with Valve, they don't care about us. They care about remaining in the good graces of Valve so they can keep working for them and earning money.
Yeah,
Those are
things.
Those relationships only exist for Shork so he can make his videos. For the rest of us, they don't care. They do not give a fuck.
I disagree. I think they do care and they do have passion for the game. They're fucking voice actors.
What are we disagreeing on? What are you disagreeing with?
Sure, they can have passion. But listen, I'm not saying that they can't have passion for the game. But as soon as their working in professional relationships could even be slightly jeopardized by upset fans demanding Valve to do something and doing the right thing, which is financially boycotting the game, then they're out. They don't care enough to support what's doing the right thing, and that is depriving Valve of the dollars.
See, I am not entirely convinced, and I don't have 100, but I have strong reason to believe. No, not 100% conclusive evidence, but based on the conversations that I've had and the things that I have heard from the actors themselves. Again, I can't leak this shit. It's all confidential. But fuck, we're playing that game again. But it seems to me very much like this was a part of the contract. Okay, even the fixed TF2 movement alone is sketchy for them to be in. Now, I think they eventually relented because it was I don't know. I guess they felt like the criteria was sufficient enough for them to bring in their support. But man, it's a real problem. I don't think it's something born out of like selfishness. I think it's genuinely just a matter of like contractual agreements and stuff.
It's still a professional relationship that they're not willing to harm because that jeopardizes their income and their well-being.
Sure,
and again, it's not to say that they don't care, but they don't care enough.
Yeah, maybe, but that's still a tether we can use that's better than anything else.
And what are they going to do? They're not Valve.
I don't know.
They're contractors for Valve. They do voice work for a bunch of different games. What are they going to do? Wag their finger at Eric Smith and say, "Hey, you really should be working on this." They're not Valve employees.
Right. And you can argue the futility of that, but then I would also in turn argue the futility of making them lose like fucking 25 minutes worth of revenue, man. Now, like this is what I mean.
Listen. It's not about this sudden, and here's my problem with the whole movement social media thing, is that you're only looking at a very small, infinitesimally small window where in this moment, we're going to tell people to suddenly stop spending money. It should be a consistent, long-term, slow burn of depriving Valve of all money through TF2 until there is some change. Yes, I agree that compared with their other revenue streams, TF2 earns pennies. But, and I will still say this argument, and I know that you don't agree, a loss is a loss. If Valve suddenly incurs a $15 million deficit annually, that still has to be something that's incorporated into their budgeting, right? Valve has overhead. They have maintenance costs. They have things to worry about. If you suddenly pull that money out, that is the only thing that they will look at and the only thing they will listen to.
Okay, well, there are two things there. Number one, we're not going to get a 15 million depreciation of their assets. They're like, we need to.
How do you know?
This is like, well, do you really think like all the whales in the game that have spent money on it, they're all going to cash out, every single one?
If it gets bad enough. And I think, and you may not even need the entire $15 million deficit. If you get half of it, then that's still good. It's still enough money that'll get them to listen. Or at least notice and pay attention. That's the only thing they care about.
They would notice, but they're noticing and paying attention now too. They're just not doing anything because it isn't worth it.
Thing is, they're not paying attention now because people are still giving them money.
Yeah, but like, okay, so you're telling me, like, what is the threshold of money that you think needs to be lost for Valve to actually step in and fix it? What do you think the threshold is?
Enough to where it's noticeable. Of course, I can't give an exact. Listen, of course, I can't give an exact number for that, but it should be most, if not all, of what TF2 earns them. It should be. It should be. And again, I can't give an exact. Like, I can't say 1 million or 5 million, but it should be a steep enough decline that's going to get it to register in their budgeting forms.
Sure. And do you really think, genuinely, do you believe it is feasible that we could lose that much money? You're going to get that many people to quit the game. I think that's completely delusional, man. If you're playing the game for 17 years, you're fucking bought in, dude.
Wheezy, I've been playing this game since launch, and I have stopped spending money on the game. And I want you to think. Listen, I want you to think about what you've managed to do. What have you and these other YouTubers have managed to do? You have managed to get 300,000 signatures on a form. You've managed to get a giant pool of people and other YouTubers talking about all of this stuff. You have massive pull. If you could just plant the thought of, hey, stop spending money on the game in all of these people's heads, you're telling me that that wouldn't have stopped people from spending money on the game? A significant volume of people?
Well, yeah, well, we're going to do that. And we're doing it at the summer.
Now we're going to do it. And listen, it's too little too late. That's the problem with these social media movements, is that they're a flash in the pan. People already don't care anymore. And
Look,
that was the flaw with this.
Yeah, but we're not going to get the entire TF2 player base who has been invested for like 17 years. If you're spending that much money on the game, you're not going to get them to quit because a couple of YouTubers said to do it.
Listen, I agree.
You can get him to sign. Listen, you can get him to sign a petition and do all that shit because it takes like 5 seconds. It's no skin off anyone's back.
And usually this is what Lucid said, the action that actually sucks to perform and that hurts you is usually the right one. People need to make the small self-sacrifice of just stop buying the fucking keys and then Valve will listen. That is the idea that should have been planted in people's heads much earlier on.
Well, first of all, we need to understand the fact that we were doing this prior to the summer update. Right? So why would we want to do the boycott during the lull in TF2's revenue when we could do it at the fucking peak?
It should be always, not just in one moment or another. It should be always and consistent, not in one moment or another.
Zesty, can I say something to Wheezy for my first comment in like 40 minutes?
Sure.
Wheezy, I've got a question, right?
Go for it.
In regards to you, the What Show, and Shork, you guys are the organizers, right? That's you three.
Yeah.
You guys are in a little group chat. You guys are friends. You guys have met in real life before, right?
I haven't, no.
Oh, well, Wheezy or not Wheezy, but the What Show and Shork have, right?
I think so, yeah.
All right. So there's a couple of factors here that I want you to address. I think, first of all,
sure.
You tell everybody you've got this plan A, B, and C that you want to do. You've got this wonderful plan, but for some reason you can't divulge anything about it, right?
It's out. That, to be clear,
right.
That is out of context. But yes.
Listen, let me finish what I'm going to get through. Right. I wrote a couple notes. I was listening to you guys bickering. Right.
Sure.
You three said nothing publicly about a boycott before me and Zesty pushed it on you in UFR, and now you guys think it's a good idea, even though you guys specifically excluded us, right? That's crazy.
First of all, like, this is not my decision. In terms of like,
that's all you have to say. You don't have to bash for a decision.
Oh, that's rich.
I don't want to make you try to defend something that wasn't your choice, right?
Wait. I'm confused. Zesty, what do you mean? Like, I'm the one who's like, yeah, get in this group with us. I'm the one who was messaging Richter. I care about your input. I was watching the streams. Like, dude, I was like, I actually, I don't know what you're.
Not enough to bring us on board.
No, I agree.
That's and you. Well, what are you gonna say, Weezy?
Well, the number one point is, listen, I'm not going to deny that shit, man. There's drama, especially relating to last time and the shit you pulled, which, again, I'm not going to get into, okay? But that soured the taste of anyone ever wanting to work with you. Now, I'm different because I'm down to roll around in the mud. We have good, we have a good relationship. I think I have a good relationship with both of you. We're, like, talking behind the scenes. We're getting, like, I'm getting your input. I actually care, right?
But not enough to get, just not enough, right?
Not enough to convince like 100 people.
Let me rattle off my.
Oh, there's 100 people inside of this Discord?
No, it's not like 100. It's like
Wheezy. You can't divulge anything about your plan A, B, or C to the community. There's a bunch of things like this that you say you can't answer because of one reason or another. You said nothing about a boycott before me and Zesty drilled that into your head on UFR.
Can I explain that?
You guys don't have. Give me a second. I'll give you a second to just pop off in a second, right?
No,
but you guys don't have you guys don't have like a particularly long history with the game. You tell me a lot of the YouTubers involved don't even plan to stick around in the TF2 community for the foreseeable future. You tell me they're all looking at jumping ship, right? So the people who are joined in 2015 or whatever and already are looking for a way out. You guys aren't particularly popular or, super famous in the TF2 community. Most of you don't have cult followings. I've got more subscribers than probably most of you guys involved, other than maybe Shork, I guess. You have no experience organizing any kind of like activist movement like this. And this petition plan you have is something you say only has like what, a 0.2% chance of working is what you said. Mm-hmm. So with all of that accounted for, right? Why do you guys deserve to be the self-appointed leaders of the TF2 community and charge forward this fixed TF2 shit? Why do you guys deserve to be able to do that and make that call and be the front runners?
Well,
what
the reality
gives
is,
you guys that? Well, what's up? Let's hear it.
I had a point. I lost it. I'm kind of with you there. I don't think I'm particularly qualified at all.
I don't think I'm qualified either.
Neither do I. Neither do I. And this goes back to my point that I said earlier, that this shouldn't have been this forced inorganic thing drummed up by YouTubers. It should just be the culmination of the entire community's frustration with Valve that gets them to do the one thing that matters, and that is stop spending money on the game. And it being a
aspect of that is a problem, man.
And you've planted that in people's heads, like, and you just suddenly manifested that in your head. And then you assume it's real, right? And without practice, without implementation, and even you said that every angle should be taken to make this work. But the one thing that Valve listens to, you decided to omit because of feasibility issues.
But wait. Yes, wait, and fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. Richter, you brought something up at the beginning of like, I didn't even, I didn't consider a boycott. That was because the main argument of just losing them a little bit of money, that isn't good enough. Impacting the other ecosystems is the actual bread and butter.
What I don't understand though is how is that more ridiculous than like a Santa Claus petition?
How is it more ridiculous? Like, how is a boycott more ridiculous?
Why is it ridiculous? Why is it like worth saying no? We shouldn't do that, but it's worth pointing everyone toward like a Santa Claus petition. You're gonna leave at Valve's door, and I feel like that's less realistic.
No, it is. Like, I'm telling people.
What the fuck, Wheezy?
I'm literally telling people from the beginning that there's a 99% chance that this will not work. And the reason why is just very basic. Okay? Valve makes way too much money to fucking care.
And then that right there reinforces the point that money is the only thing they're going to listen to.
Yeah, but when I say they make too much money, I mean they make $10 fucking billion a goddamn year in revenue.
Of course.
And you're saying, let's deprive them
revenue. That's not what they pocket.
Yeah, I know it's
not
profit.
Their overhead or their servers or
whatever.
I
know it's an estimation. The TF2 numbers are estimations too. You can give or take a couple billion, give or take I fully understand that argument, 100%. Right. No, I'm actually like, in some respects, I'm with you there. Like, I don't think I'm particularly qualified. It's just a thing I fell ass backwards into. But I don't believe, if you're going to make the argument that, we should stop spending money on the game, like, there's way too many feasibility issues there. I'm sorry. You are not going to convince the entire community forever to not spend money on the game just because you found that there were a bunch of fucking AFK bots in the game and shit. And aimbots too, by the way. Like, I'm not discounting that, but my point is, like, even you, Zesty, like, you were unboxing crates.
What if it's like not even just on that level of we need to?
Wait.
Do you have something you want to say, Zesty? You have something you want?
I am honestly blown away by you hand waving this away like that. Holy.
What do you mean?
Fuck.
Wait, what did I hand wave away exactly?
Yeah, you hand waving this away by dismissing some of the biggest problems this game faces. Oh yeah. Not spending money on the game is not going to do anything, and even though there's a shitload of bots, by the way, also aimbots ruining the game, making it unplayable for half the day. Yeah, let's not stop giving Valve money through this game. Like, in that being the number one thing that people should just be doing inherently, regardless of effectiveness or not.
Sure, I don't necessarily disagree with that part, but my concern is the effectiveness.
It shouldn't matter. And here's the thing. That is the most effective thing. Because as you've admitted, everything up until this point has had a sliver of a chance of working and is going to be useless, meaningless. Again, it makes us feel better, right? Yeah, but that's all it's going to do is make us feel better. And now everyone's pissed and everyone doesn't feel good. Because, guess what? We realize a big social media stink is going to do jack shit. Because Valve can ignore it. The thing they cannot ignore is, oops, no more money coming in from this thing that has always earned us money. That is the one thing that we have not tried. The one thing that Valve will listen to. Yeah, cut off that revenue stream.
Sure, I'm down to try it. Like, we're getting things set up literally as we speak.
Okay.
What does that mean? What is getting things set up?
Are we going to have as in, like, fixed TF2 part 2?
No. We're getting, like, summer update happens. We're, like, we're going to boycott it. Right? We're going to get a bunch of art going. We're going to get a bunch of promotion. We're going to make videos for it. Like, yeah.
I feel like that should have been baked into the.
It should have been there from day one. I mean, sure, better late than never, I guess. But at the same time, it's too little, too late. At this stage, people are pissed and people are done.
It feels like you guys are. I'm not trying to be a dick here. It feels like you guys are scrambling to like save face, and I'm not.
No, we had this. No, absolutely not. This is what I mean by people took that comment out of context. The thing about fucking like the plan A, plan B, plan C. People took that argument. Or rather, that post, and they made it seem like, oh, I'm extrapolating it onto the movement as a whole.
I gotta piss like a fucking racehorse. I'll be right back.
No, and listen, and I need to reinforce this, right? Obviously, now, if you haven't already, stop spending money on the game. Stop buying keys. Stop all of this. That is the one thing that you need to do immediately if you want Valve to listen. Simple as.
No, but I here's the thing. I don't disagree with you in terms of like hey, let's give it a try. But I think your argument that, oh, well, it's not going to work out, man. Or fuck, sorry. My brain is actually just mush right now. I'm so sorry. Maybe we should do this when I'm more coherent.
Probably would have been a good idea from the start.
Go on UFR again.
Probably would have been a good idea from the start if you were not mentally stable. Not stable is wrong. Like not mentally sound to have this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. There's no animosity there for sure.
No, I didn't mean that.
No, I get it, man. Like I understand that like we're both passionate about this. I am. And truthfully, like again, it's just I don't think we can convince the vast majority of people to make that substantive amount of a leap for at least a very long period of time. Because
disagree.
Eventually, well, the reason here's my
World of Warcraft fans did it for a year and a half. Why can't TF2 fans?
No, okay, you bring that up. Those were two completely disconnected events. People quit the game. Like, people didn't quit the game to move to Nost. Now, some of the people who did quit the game moved to Nost, but they weren't connected. It wasn't actually a financial boycott. It was just two separate events that, like, there's some, like, parallel to.
Explain to me why it was not a financial boycott. Because, I'm curious why you think the whole thing World of Warcraft went through was not a financial boycott.
Because no one said, I am unsubbing from the game because Blizzard sucks dick. I'm going to go play Nost, and I am not going to play WoW until you do vanilla WoW servers. That was not the center of the petition. Now, there were people who believe that, 100%. In the same way that there were people who think the exact same thing about TF2 right now, despite the fact that our main movement was not a financial boycott. So I'm not arguing that financial elements did not play a role. But
they played the only role. I'm sorry.
But it wasn't, the centralizing theme surrounding the movement.
Here's the problem, Wheezy.
Legacy servers.
Here's the problem, Wheezy. It wasn't a movement. It was a natural, organic reaction, the culmination of a whole bunch of different things. There wasn't this organized group of YouTubers spearheading some kind of a movement. It was a series of natural reactions from the consumers that forced their hand. And the number one thing, it was a boycott. You don't need YouTubers announcing something or someone organizing something in order for there to be a boycott. Ultimately, you had shitloads of people unsubscribing from WoW over a long period of time. They were hemorrhaging users because of their mistreatment, because of them fucking over legacy servers, because of them not putting good content into the game. People were fucking fed up. And ultimately, that being fueled by the petition, all of the stink on social media, all of that was snowballing more people to unsubscribe. And finally, when it was enough, then that forced Blizzard's hand, and they gave the players what they wanted. How on earth is that not a financial boycott? And how on earth did the financial aspect not be the number one thing in that?
Sure, I think we might be actually looking at two different elements there. Because my perception of a boycott is, here is a move actually like designed with a specific thing and a specific theme in mind. Now, I'm not arguing that it didn't play into Blizzard's decision, because that loss proved that there was another market that they can capitalize on. My point is that if we do the same thing here, like, again, this is not a big moneymaker for Valve. It's nothing. I think the ecosystem argument is a million times better. Because when we think about all the work that has to go into what happens with getting I'm so mushy. I'm so sorry. Can we do this?
He's a mushy banana. He's a mushy banana.
That's a good one, Richter. I like it. No, for real. Do you would you lead this movement if I asked you to?
No, because this shouldn't be a YouTuber thing. This should just be everyone doing everything they can on their own.
Come on, Zesty, that's weak.
I'm not. I'm not gonna. Because you guys should not need a YouTuber to tell you to stop spending money on the game.
No, okay. Well, first of all, I agree with that, but other people, like, that's how they're acting apparently. But also, like, can I just make my point when I say, oh, you know what, when I say, oh, YouTubers and stuff, I mean, will you aid us in leadership?
I think
I'm down.
Listen,
like we've talked a lot. I think you have good ideas.
Now,
you did
okay,
say if me
so
and Zesty started our own movement, you would join it. You did
so,
say
yes,
that. Which only
yes,
makes
I
me
did.
more. That only makes me more like concerned about.
now
Confidence
I'm
in your
allowed. Now I am someone that can be brought into the fold.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, first
Personally,
of all,
I find, and listen, I know it's not you, but I find it insulting.
no, I
find it
completely
immensely
understand.
insulting, and honestly, my feelings are hurt just a little bit.
No, I totally get that. Can you at least admit that I've tried to maintain a relationship and try to see where your head's at because I do value your opinion.
Absolutely, but at the same time, now I'm allowed to come into the fold. It's like,
well, honestly, that was a hypothetical. I don't actually like. I'm just.
But Wheezy, you're one of but here's the thing, Wheezy, you're one of the three. Listen, Wheezy. Now that you've said this, have fun on Twitter.
Yeah,
just saying, you're gonna have a really good time, even posing the idea of working with the unclean and the unwashed.
No, dude, I completely agree, man. And that's actually, like, again, we judge everything by an effectiveness perspective. But I don't care what people on Twitter think about me.
Only the ones on Reddit.
Yeah, because that's actually damaging the movement, in my opinion.
And Twitter wouldn't?
Yeah, that's pretty fair.
Well, Twitter is like, oh, you're hanging out with the transphobe because he said the Teesler in 2018. Like, dude, I don't, like, come on. Like, that's obvious bullshit, okay? No, we're there. Like, my concerns have always been practicality. And I do not believe, like you have to argue two sections of the coin here. There's number one, can it be done? Number two, if it is done, would it work? I do not believe that substantively the boycott idea of just like depriving them of like even half of their revenue, that is going to be one, very difficult, and two, will it do anything? I'm not even convinced, because the $7.5 million of revenue, which, by the way, this is a pie in the sky number that I don't think could ever be achieved. But let's say hypothetically it does. How much work is Valve going to put in when they view time as money, when they aren't willing to hire more people to come in? AKA, they have self-imposed limited resources, which I agree is bullshit. I think we all can agree that is bullshit. Valve should hire more people, but for some reason they don't want to do it. That now they look at it as, okay, I could spend an hour here and you know, try to preserve $7 million a year, or I could spend it on fucking Steam Deck.
Listen, Wheezy,
they think it's going to make way more money.
Wheezy, here's the thing: we don't have an answer for that. All it boils down to is it's simply the right thing to do, and the only thing that might force Valve's hand.
That's my angle. Is it's not just like, oh, you boycott, so you're hurting Valve. It's also just like probably good for your spirit to detach from this game a little bit, because
I agree with that.
You'll see people saying like, oh, kill TF2, whatever. I don't agree with that, obviously, but I do think if TF2 is gonna die, which, Wheezy, you're saying the Save TF2 effort has a 2% chance of working. If TF2 is gonna die, anybody who's still attached to it needs to run for the hills. I think you guys should be working towards detaching yourself from the game, at least as it exists as a live service. I'll always have TF2 as a part of my heart and my soul, right? Like, that's not something you can get rid of, a game you grew up with. But I think it's important, even if, you know, this boycott isn't guaranteed to do anything. Like everyone in chat is saying, the fucking petition isn't going to do anything either.
No,
realistically. I agree. That's why I think that, like, very forwardly saying pull out of the game, there's so many ways that's like a good message, if that makes any sense. I'm a little fried. I also was gone for like 10 minutes, but
oh, did you take a bunch of Adderall too?
No, I'm not like that.
Sure.
I'm straight and narrow.
Really?
I'm awesome.
You don't see it. You feel like you're on the perk. Yeah. No, this is I think this was a bad idea.
And that's crazy, because there's so many, you know, irreconcilable differences between me and Zesty and how we view this movement. But for some reason, every time you come on, you kind of just agree with everything you say.
Wait,
and it's making me think maybe we should be talking to some of the other people who are organizing this. Why are you the only one who ever pops out for anything like this? Why are you the only one who ever wants to talk to people about this?
Because here's the reality.
And you always are able to go like, oh, well, this isn't my idea. This is what the other people are.
No.
It's like they're sending you out as like the dog to go fight their battles.
No, no one's sending me. Here's the truth. And look, I mean, look at chat. Like, obviously, you know, it is what it is, man. But other people, like, they're fucking pussies, dude. They don't like if they have to put themselves in a domain where they could be publicly, you know, lambasted in any way. It's something that they want to avoid. And personally, I'm interested in what I believe is the truth. And if that means that I have to put myself in these positions to have a better way of achieving that, then I'm going to do that. Now, there might be disagreements we have. Like, look at me. I've been awake for fucking 35 hours basically. I am fried, and I'm still here talking to you guys.
Doing? What have you been doing for 35 hours?
I actually don't know.
Partying or something?
No, I actually don't
Bro,
remember.
People are gonna walk away from this stream thinking you're like a fucking junkie pillhead, bro.
No, I totally believe it, man. Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, every time I do talk to you, you say you're on Adderall. I don't know if that's
no. That's it's a thing, man.
Okay.
I recommend a cup of chamomile tea and go to bed.
I hate tea.
Something.
Wheezy,
hot cup of milk, something.
Sure. Do you mind if I just clarify like one thing? Okay.
Sure.
It's mainly like I think the accusation that that kind of it just kind of bothers me is like the gambling one, because the argument is I have no genuine ideas and no genuine reasons as to why I believe the things I do. It's all motivated purely by self-interest. And I just wanted to like that to me is the most insulting. Like that absolutely is not the case.
You shouldn't take that personally, because it's not really attacking you so much as it is attacking the fact that you're in the position you're in, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I know.
It's more so it's like theoretically look at the conflict of interest this guy should have. He shouldn't even be considered.
Sure.
Like even factually, right? Like you might not have that conflict of interest, but even staring from the outside looking in, do you see why people see it that way at all?
Maybe. Like I can understand if you're unfamiliar with my content, but like look, let me just say right now, okay? I've never gambled on like sports or blackjack or anything in a casino. I made a vow at age 15 to never go to a casino in my life. Okay, all of my friends, they hit 18, they fucking went to Quebec because that's what you do in Ontario. Like you go there, you fucking gamble, get wasted. I tapped out every single time. I don't like, like I only play MVM when I want to make videos on it for like the same reason that like a janitor is they have the dirtiest houses, you know?
Wheezy. A piece of advice from me: when people widely accuse you of something that you're not, just keep your mouth shut. Don't acknowledge it. All you're going to do is fuel it.
You gotta stop arguing.
And listen, you and I listen. I understand that I know that you're not a gambling addict. I understand that even if you were, it wouldn't make a fucking difference, because you can still put your money where your mouth is and do what needs to be done in order for Valve to make a change, right? That's the fact, plain and simple. Wouldn't matter if you're a gambling addict, if you know what needs to be done and will take action, right? And which clearly you've done. You're not a fucking gambling addict, and that should be it.
Yeah, and if there's one message to walk away from this stream with, it's that Wheezy is not a gambling addict, and he's not a pillhead.
Come on, I'm like I'm too wired for this, man. No, I do want to say that like I do appreciate both of you, and I do appreciate having these conversations. I really do.
I appreciate and like very straightforwardly, I appreciate the transparency and honesty you've given me. You've been a comrade to me, Wheezy.
No, like I'm again like it is difficult to put yourself in these situations, but I would just hope that people would appreciate that there's someone willing to do it, you know?
I appreciate that, but it is a little depressing that this is like the best draft picks we have.
I just think it's by and large
it is a
Herculean task.
The entirety of this just makes me sad that this is what this kind of devolves into.
Yeah, this is fucking depressing, yeah.
Where here we are in a fucking live stream chat arguing over ineffective means to an end, which is not going to get anything done. And this is all we have. Because Valve sucks. And I think we can all collectively agree that Valve blows in every way possible. And this is all thanks to them. And they can go fuck themselves.
Yeah, and that attitude,
this is where
if people want to not spend money because of that, like 100%, I'm totally on board. There's just there are like feasibility concerns with what you're saying. I'm not like, let me be clear here. I'm not entirely saying that what your plan that you are proposing, I'm not claiming that if it were to come to fruition, that it wouldn't the failure rate would be 100%. No, but what I am saying is, like, God, that's like a fucking task and a half, man.
Not
you have
really.
To let it go on.
It really isn't.
You have to convince everyone to do this for years, like their favorite game. Fucking 17 years old. Dude, if you're still playing this bot-infested shithole of a game, you're fucking dedicated. You love this game.
Yeah,
and I think that hardcore player base to never, if they've already spent money on the game, to never do it again.
I'm willing to... If World of Warcraft fans can do it,
and World of Warcraft
if fucking WoW fans who have been miserably addicted to that game can do it for a year and a half and force Blizzard's hand, I think I have enough confidence in TF2 fans that they can do the same thing.
And then it should be at least be a focus, right?
It should at the bare minimum be a focus and encourage people to do the same thing.
We can for sure. And like I said,
and listen, and I'm evidence of this. I have spent a ridiculous amount of money on this game. I have spent tens of thousands of dollars on TF2 in my over a decade of playing the game. And I've reached the point as a former whale where I'm not spending a fucking dime on the game anymore. If I can be convinced by Valve doing jack shit, I think everyone else who's been playing the game for years like I have and spending money on Lord knows what kind of frequent or infrequent basis,
I want you
they
to
can do the
imagine,
same.
Wheezy, what would happen if, like, Uncle Dane, like, who else? Like, Lazy Purple, Soundsmith, like, James Key, all these other people that I know you guys are, like, involved with, right? If all those people dropped a video saying, we're done with TF2, cutthroat on TF2, sell all your shit in TF2, I want you to imagine the impact that all of that hitting at once would have on the game.
Yep.
Because that's not infeasible.
Wait, no, that isn't feasible. You are not going to get all those people to do it. That is not happening.
Well,
you would get a very large volume of people to follow suit.
You would.
No,
I think he's saying the YouTubers would do it.
Yes, yeah. Thank you, Richter. Yeah, I'm not arguing against the fact that people are going to follow what their favorite YouTubers do, 100%. But what I'm saying is, you're not going to get the collective base of enough people to make that commitment for their favorite game that they've invested so much in. You've done it. Respect to you, man. But not everyone's going to do that. Even I'm not going to do that.
I mean, of course, not every single World of Warcraft fan did it, but enough people did it to where it forced their hand. So why can't TF2 fans do this?
Why can't they do it?
My goodness.
I mean, no, I don't. Dude, I'm way too wired for that. I think I have the answer to this in my script, actually, I think. But I think it's I'm not gonna lie. No, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This was a fucking mistake, dude. Yeah, you have to only convince 30,000 people. No, not really. You have to, like, there are more people. There's not just 30,000 people playing the game, right? Like, there's that 30,000. The 30. Holy fuck. Okay, I think I should go to bed.
I understand the point you're trying to make. It's 30,000 daily peak players, when in reality there's probably a few 100,000 people that play the game at some point or another throughout the week, right? And that is a large pool of people, and you only need to convince a certain percentage of them to actually put a dent where it hurts Valve. Clearly, you don't need to convince all of them, but you can convince enough, as we saw with World of Warcraft fans, to make them do something.
Yeah, I'm really not convinced.
Wow.
Well,
sorry. Hang on, wait. Can I rephrase that? Can I rephrase that?
Of course.
Sure. Because what I'm telling you is, every WoW player, they're paying $15 a month no matter what, whether they're a new player coming in or an old veteran, right? They're paying the same amount. There's different varying levels of investment that have happened over the years as a result of TF2's staying power, right? So I would argue that the most invested players are probably the ones spending the most amount of money, and those are the ones that you have to convince to quit. Whereas the WoW analogy, I don't actually think it makes sense, because a lot of the people who are coming in, they weren't as long time players. Maybe like everyone has their own reasons for quitting the game, man. Sorry,
I don't know, man. I know people who started playing within 8 months that have dumped hundreds of dollars into the game.
Yeah, but they're a minority. Like, let's be real.
No, I don't think so. I think already the majority of people who play TF2 right now who have started playing after Jungle Inferno.
Blow the lid on the fact that the game is, first of all, it's unplayable. Second of all, the economy is run by pedophiles. That's like a great angle. That's a pretty great reason to not play a game anymore.
Yeah, that too. Lest we forget.
No, I
appreciate you coming on, especially because I tried not to be too active in the conversation, but it's a 2v1 and a lot of people wouldn't step up.
No, I actually recognize that in you. No, for real. Like, I want people to know that, like, I am searching. I really want to get down to the truth here and what actually is both feasible and practical. And I do still have the concerns.
And I will say
so
that
sorry.
I will say that my answer, what is both feasible and practical, is just stop buying keys.
Sure.
It depends on the level at which
me.
we could get it to happen.
And I think you could get a lot of people on board, and you could have gotten a lot of people on. This is just me. I know I'm repeating myself for the upteenth time. You could have gotten a lot of people on board if that was pushed from day one. And if it was pushed as a long-term commitment instead of just only do the summer update or only launch it during the summer update, it needs to be a long-term commitment from enough people in order to get Valve to listen.
Yeah, I think everyone in chat, like I know you guys are memeing, but everyone telling me to go to bed, and I think I completely agree. Listen, I appreciate both of you very much, and I appreciate the conversation.
Godspeed to you, you disgusting banana freak.
And
get sleep, dude. Get sleep. Yeah, you're gonna have a field day when you wake up, I think.
No, he'll be fine. Listen, Wheezy, Godspeed. Stop arguing with Reddit though. You're just gonna.
No, I wouldn't make any kind of direct attack towards Reddit or Twitter or any kind of social media sphere. I would also avoid making a video countering arguments or counter arguments to counter arguments. It will be a waste of your breath.
No, fuck that. If he has something he wants to say it in a video.
Of course, if he has something he wants to say, but just take it from me. Generally not worth your time.
No, I'm actually I'm very much on like your arc. I'm kind of realizing that now, where I have to like learn all the lessons that you learned, you know?
Everyone who is a YouTuber goes through it at one point or another.
Everyone is a real human as a YouTuber.
Everyone, listen, everyone is human. Everyone does something that's going to piss people off. It's inevitable. It's just part of being on the internet. No one is squeaky clean all the time. Everyone has skeletons in their closet. And they'll come for you next, as always. Once you get big enough and there's incentive for clout, they will come for you. Always.
100%. I'd actually very much like to follow up on this discussion if we could, when I'm not fucking out of my mind.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, obviously this isn't the last time this is going to be spoken about. This should be something that should be continued to be spoken about ad nauseum until, and obviously the problems with Valve, bots, their neglect should be kept at the forefront of all discourse surrounding this game. Period.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate your advice. I appreciate the conversation. No, for real.
You take care for real. Don't let him get to you, bro.
No, I'm totally with you there. I'm like losing myself to this kind of shit. All right. I think that's it. I appreciate the conversation, guys.
Godspeed. Good luck with your movement. Also, I want it to work. That's why it's so hurtful.
And that's something else I want to that I should reinforce now. I'm not against this. I'm not against the boycott. I'm not against fixed TF2. It's all been good. Makes us feel better. Makes Valve look bad. Keep doing it. But we have our problems with it clearly, and I think we've aired those out.
You've agreed with a lot of them. Is the thing.
Well, of course. I mean, I agree with everything being done.
There's no
of course.
For reintegration, there's no reconciling. It seems there's no road to meet the paths.
Actually, do you mind if I ask one question before I head out? Just one.
Sure.
Yeah, it's just kind of like making a more of a parallel. So Amazon workers piss in bottles and shit, right? Like the working conditions aren't that great.
Right.
Would you argue that in order to stop that, we should stop buying Amazon products? I just want to like get your sense of things.
I would say if that was going on top of like Amazon being a shitty service that didn't work spottily, I think you can make a really strong case that you should.
Yeah.
What if it was still your favorite service though?
Move on to a new one.
Favorite service, yeah. If it's a broken service.
Yeah, you move on. You move on to a new one.
It's not just this is unethical. This is also a bad product.
Yeah, I don't see. That's the thing. I don't disagree with like the internal desire to fuck over a company that you believe is acting immorally. That's not my thing. My question is, would there be enough people in that situation ever to make it so that Amazon was forced to change their policies?
Thing is, Wheezy, it's a bit of an apples and oranges thing, and I think
I agree.
And most of us are aware that, unfortunately, thanks to whatever country you're from, we are at the mercy of corporations and businesses that basically have their fingers in every pie of the assets of life, of the facets of life, and you can do as much as you can to avoid supporting what they do and their shady shit. and everyone should just do their part individually, and and really that's it.
Yeah. I'm with you there. It's just obviously it is an apples and orange comparison, or rather it's like an apple and a massive apple to where the apple is like no longer an apple, you know?
Oh, Wheezy, before you dip, I know this is like the third. Before we dip, this is the
Before
fifth one in
yeah,
a row.
sure.
But you watched my second channel video about all this, right?
Yeah.
What did you think of what I had to say at the end about how we should have like it's unlikely that Valve will roll out like a state of the art anti cheat overnight, right? And I said in the video we should try maybe as part of it give like a small list of demands that are like reasonable that like one developer could do, like suggest tweaks to matchmaking. They probably
Or just revert back to quick play.
They probably won't ever do that because Jill put so much time and effort into putting that.
Oh yeah, sorry, Jill's Nito update. Yeah,
like a small list of demands, like to show us that you're listening, that you at least care a little bit. You know, undo the free to play ban. I think you guys should go forward with that for real.
Well, the problem is like I agree with that 100%, but there is the biggest issue of the bots, and that's the main thing that needs to be fixed. Now, I agree with you that Valve probably aren't going to make state-of-the-art anti-cheat. They're not going to fix that shit. So within the bounds of the dick in the ice cream, as I like to say, you can make the cake better, and you can advocate for that. There is the worry that could distract from the greater problem at hand, and that's a defaulting responsibility onto the community in many ways. But
see,
yeah,
for me,
I don't disagree with you.
See, for me, why wouldn't you immediately revert the system that directly facilitates bots? Reverting back to quick play, and I've made arguments with this on UFR and what have you. Reverting back to quick play would probably solve 85% of the problem immediately overnight. And the implementation of the matchmaking system directly facilitates how bots function today. That update laid the groundwork for all of the problems we experience right now.
Spinbots
I 100% agree.
Spinbots week 1 and meet your match.
People like to disagree with that. No, I'm actually completely on board there. I think it was the removal of quick play was a huge fuck up.
Yeah, and that is a more reasonable thing that you could ask Valve to do. Boot out the matchmaking system,
or at least
bring back quick play,
just tweak the matchmaking
or adjust the matchmaking system so the servers function more so like they did with quick play. But then at that point, it would literally just be putting quick play back into implementation.
Yeah, I'm down.
That really should be the thing that they do.
Well, that's Common Ground. That seems like a good place for Wheezy to go nap, to be honest.
Yeah, for real. It's not going to be a nap. It's going to be a 14-hour crash. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Yeah, no, I will
You're
forget
gonna
about
have 1,000 DMs from Shork in the What Show, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, what the fuck did I do?"
No. It's I mean, actually, maybe. Who knows? Yeah, you're right. I've been yapping too much. You guys have a good stream. All right.
Take care, bro. Get some rest.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the conversation. All right. See you.
Take care.
I'm glad he did that.
I am too. It's just unfortunate that he was sleep deprived.
I said it at the start of the stream. I said it at the start of the stream that me and Wheezy have been cool, so I didn't want that to be like a shit fest.
No, and
I'm interested in maintaining a good relationship with him. He's a nice guy.
No, and listen, I'm happy that at least one bigger figure is willing to speak with the unclean and get other ideas out there that could potentially have a bigger impact.
I told you guys I'm gonna talk Zesty into having Wheezy on, and it's going to be great content. And when it's great content, say thank you, Richter.
Hey, Richter, can you entertain my chat for a second? I really have to piss.
Fuck.
Just give me a second.
With these fucking
just spitball for a moment if you don't mind.
I gotta entertain 2,000 people alone. I've never streamed with this many people. You cooked, Richter. Thanks, chat. They love me in chat. Someone probably think I'm gay, but that's fine. Start rapping, bro. I'm not gonna rap, Rat Lobber. You fucking asshole. Yeah, shout out to Rat Lobber. Everything I said on this stream was probably something that I discussed with him before. So, say the N word. We're not going to do that. That's not normal. More source engine slop. Thanks, Sour Nail. Who the fuck is who is this Gabru person? I don't know who that is. I'm watching Skibidi. This shit is riveting. Fucking yo bitch is my favorite activity. Thanks, Rat Lover. Can I get a Zesty Jesus W in chat for all the Zesty Jesus fans? What's something else we could stimulate the chat with? I wish you'd make me a moderator so I could run polls and shit. I saw people throwing fucking tomatoes when Wheezy was on, bro. That's evil. That's actually fucking crazy evil. You're like, boo, we hate him. Get him off. Boo. It's crazy. That's crazy. He's been so pissed today. He's been so pissed the entire time. I thought this stream was gonna happen. He's like, I can't do it. I gotta make this thumbnail for this fucking video. I think I'm gonna have to take another hour to work on this thumbnail, and I have all this shit I'm doing this evening, and I got an appointment tomorrow or whatever. I'm just glad this got to happen. I think it was fun. That was fun. That was good content. And be nice to Wheezy. He's a good guy at heart, I promise. He's based or whatever. He's not evil. I don't really care for the other people involved, but Wheezy's been nice. He's been cool. I'm stroking it for you. Thanks, Nutmeg. I appreciate that. Richter, is your channel Richter Overtime? Yeah, thanks for reminding me, everybody. Go subscribe to fucking Richter Overtime. Go watch my Richter After Hours second channel video about fixed TF2 if you want. Check all that out if you want. It's a good time.
Okay, sorry about that.
Just in time.
Okay. All right, I'm back. I apologize.
You're good, bro. How's it going? How you feeling about that whole interaction?
I don't know. I'm glad that the conversation happened. We need more of these conversations to be happening. Otherwise, you're going to have people you're going to have the people with the most influence being relegated into their own echo chambers with the confirmation bias and probably not going to get what needs to be said out there and promote what needs to get done to be done. Simple as that.
Right.
So I'm glad we had the talk.
It's crazy that he was speechless when I was like, "Why do you guys deserve to be the leaders?" He had no answers. Like, I agree with you.
Well, I think it just points at the problem that this shouldn't be some YouTuber movement. This shouldn't be some like action flash in the pan thing on social media.
If that's gonna be like a strong angle of it, right? Which I don't think is totally bad. Like, we live in a social media era, right?
Of course, right, and it's all part of it.
People are influencing in that, like, influential in that way. YouTubers are, and but my whole thing is, why is the push the What Show? Why is it not Lazy Purple? Why is it not Uncle Dane? Why is it not any of these other people that I know for a fact Shork has contact with?
Well, because I don't think they care enough. I mean, it's not that they don't care at all. It's just that their lives don't involve TF2 anymore. They've moved on, as many others have. Their lives aren't dictated by TF2. They're not involved with the community or YouTube video making anymore. So it's like, why would they bother? Of course they'll be on board with improving the state of the game, but they're not going to sacrifice that much time out of their lives doing other things to make videos and push for it. And which is totally fair. And we shouldn't be expecting this of them at all. It's just that they live their own lives and do their own thing.
Yeah.
So, shit.
That's crazy.
No, yeah, that was quite the eventful chit chat, I must say.
I knew it'd be a good idea. Wheezy isn't like you were worried that me and Wheezy were going to be at each other's throats. You and him were at each other's throats.
What?
You were worried me and fucking Wheezy were going to freak out on each other. You guys were the one domineering the conversation.
Well, I don't think we were at each other's throats. I think we're having a mostly civil conversation. Of course, I get heated because I get upset. Talk to the viewers. I'm probably not going to bring viewers on. I think that's a terrible idea, given the state of my chat.
Did you get even a single minute of video footage of TF2?
No, we got kind of sucked into this. Probably for the better, because I could actually contribute to the conversation and not be distracted by the game. So
yeah, that's true.
Also, I do apologize for missing all of these fucking donations. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
You better go back. You better read them all.
Well, most of them are just people saying shit like, we need Donald Trump to tweet about TF2. Petition made me lose all hope in a second movement, and just another we love you, Valve. Please love us back. Not wrong. Rubber Mango wanting to come on. Gamblers when they can't gamble. Tell them it's impractical to rely on e-celebs. Broken fumble. Let's threaten other people's jobs so I can keep gambling.
Chat asks, is Richter black? That's a peculiar question.
I don't know. I guess race matters now.
Yeah. Zesty is the most racial TF-tuber.
I am indeed the most racial of YouTubers. I'm glad you guys are challenging the idea of the movement. I think no matter what side you're on, it's good to have a bigger contrast in opinions for big movements like this to make it more profound. And listen, that's my big gripe with this being relegated to a small group of YouTubers inside of a Discord full of friends that have largely been influencing and spearheading this entire thing. And then
not even popular YouTubers, really.
Well, I mean, they're popular in that they're, all moderately sized.
Not to say, and people were saying like, oh, well, he's just trying to like flex like I'm not really popular either. I'm not even a tier 2 YouTuber, so that's not the angle I'm trying to take. But like, why is it not Lazy Purple? Why is it not Soundsmith? Why is it not these people that I constantly hear mentioned as the Mount
Well, because
Rushmore
these
or
like,
whatever,
I mean, I'll be frank, these people really haven't been important in the TF2 sphere since before 2020 or 2021. These guys have all, and like Uncle Dane idles, like Uncle Dane is idling, right? Dane is idling. He's doing editing for other people. He every now and again puts out a YouTube video because he finds it fun or what have you. Lazy Purple is off doing whatever mental care he needs to live his life, and frankly, I think it's good that he stays off the internet. It seems like he was putting too much stress on himself, and he needs to go live a life outside of that pressure. It's probably better for him. And then, of course, and then Soundsmith idles in the background because it's his job to be the YouTuber, so why would he ever insert himself in anything remotely controversial and jeopardize his income? So naturally, he's not going to say anything.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know anything about that.
Shout out to
those guys and their families. Shout out to Soundsmith and Lazy Purple and their families. I got no beef with y'all.
Well, I mean, I'm just stating facts, right? So, of course, all we have left are, you know, smaller guys, other people willing to put their hat in the ring, and that's why we have these people come forward. So
yeah, and I admire it in some way, but it's just so sad. It shows like desperation in the TF2 community is really what it shows.
Well, and, frankly, I think we are. I mean,
the game down to it's down, like the game being in such a desperate state is just very depressing.
I mean, are we not desperate?
We're desperate, but it's the idea that if you acknowledge that it's desperate, then you're a doomer and you're an enemy. It's just unproductive.
No, I agree. It makes no sense to like try to force people to act. Right? If they don't want to act, then leave them alone. There's no point in getting angry that someone didn't get involved in the movement. Right? It should be everyone's own choice. And like I've been saying, it should just be a natural thing that the consumer willingly involves themselves in. If you don't like how the product is being handled, don't support the product. I'll say it a million times over and over again.
Yep. Just true. Just true.
Enough with fucking Gabber. I don't want to bring other YouTubers on. I also don't want to bring him on because if his videos are of any indication, he's just gonna start dropping shit that's gonna get the video. It's gonna get the stream age restricted. So I'd rather not.
I like 2-4 twerkers. Can we start shouting out 2-4 twerkers in chat?
And to him as well.
That's a very funny name.
No, just that's just rage bait.
His videos.
Why would I bring a rage bait YouTuber on?
I like 2-4 twerkers.
Thing is,
shut up in my stream.
It's funny because like they're saying I'm a coward, but I'd rather not have him like drop the fucking N-word on my stream and then have the whole thing fucking ruined. I'd rather this be public and open for anyone to go back and watch. Thank you.
Wow. Is there anything else? We covered everything. Is it blown out?
I don't know.
I think we still have like a shit ton of viewers.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, it's. What else is there to say, guys? Seriously, I mean, what else is there to say? I think that really is it.
I don't know. I think our conversation with Wheezy kind of fell off it drifted and it was a little distant and we weren't really addressing anything by the end. We were sort of just.
No, I know. I disagree. I think we were. I think we managed to point out the flaws in everything that's been happening and what really needs to be done. And despite Wheezy disagreeing with that for what I think are just asinine reasons, we still had a meaningful conversation.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel bad. I feel bad for him. I feel like he could have brought a better game, but he was so sleepy. I feel bad.
He just kept repeating the same arguments he's been telling us every time we go on UFR or what have you. He really didn't say anything new to us. And also our counter arguments were the same. It was nothing new. Except now we're able to point at his own video where he uses World of Warcraft as like the structure for how they made this event and point at that and go, why would the financial aspect of this not work? Because ultimately, again, that's what made Blizzard do something, was people not spending money on WoW.
Yeah.
Enough with the fucking spam, you fucking child. It
was a fun time.
No, a lot of 4chan is here right now. They're kind of showing themselves. I have to hide them. It's getting annoying. Go away. Go back to your containment chamber.
Well, I want you to talk about the Omegatronic porn.
Just Reddit being full of brain dead morons. Like I don't understand why people thought that was a good idea. What the hell is wrong with you? You're giving them exactly what they want, which is just more attention. Fucking hilarious. Yeah, peak Reddit moment. Them doing something completely empty-headed and stupid. My God.
What more can you say?
Yeah, what more can you say?
Fix Half-Life 2 Episode 2.
Oh no.
Sure, fix that shit.
I don't know, man. I think that's it. I got nothing else to say.
I can't think of anything else. I think we burnt some shit out there with Wheezy. That was
good. I think that was good. And this
I
this
hope he
VOD.
doesn't wake up and think that we were like trying to like abuse him or something. I was trying to be cordial.
No, I mean
I
I
tried
think
to remain on good terms.
I think it was fine. It was a good conversation. So I will reinforce again, if you actually want Valve to do something, stop spending money. Stop buying shit. Stop buying hats, stop buying keys, stop buying shit off the Manco store. Stop moving shit through the community market. It's not that hard. That's all you need to do. Stop buying the fucking keys. That's it. Simple as that. Anyways, all aboard for boycotting Manco. I mean, it's just that should just be coming naturally through everyone. So yeah. Thank you everyone for tuning in. This blew up into something that was a lot bigger than I anticipated.
It was quite fun. It was quite a fun time.
It was a conversation that needed to happen.
You put on a show for the people today, Zesty.
Well, to be fair, it was everyone, not just me. And most people come for drama. They don't. Most people just come for drama. They don't come for me. They don't come for you. They don't come for Wheezy. They come for a fist fight, right?
They care about the next like ugly war paint. Like what else is there to care about?
They come for a fist fight. That's all people care about. So. Anyways, I'm going to end it out there. Thanks for chilling, everyone. Probably not going to play the game now because it's just a little too chaotic. And thanks for the donations. I do appreciate it. If people care about if I go live, join the Discord in the link in the description. I post announcements when I go live and also when I upload a video. And yeah, see y'all later. Take care.
Take care, y'all.